News of the day and Albert Pujols. We know there's a standing offer from the Cardinals. They have re-engaged talks, but there's also that offer from the Marlins. Shed more light on that today because more news came out about the numbers.
Yeah, my understanding, as reported, it was a 9-year offer for Albert Pujols. The question is how much money? 9 years could mean a lot of money or it could mean a little money. So there really can't be that much significance attached to the number of years. My understanding is that was well below the Cardinal offer, which is right about $200 million, maybe just a hair above $200 million. I think the Marlins are just tipping their toe in here. They're more interested in Jose Reyes, I believe. They're basically saying to Albert Pujols, if he loves Miami, okay, that's one thing. But I don't think at this point they do not look like a serious player. They did have him down there. They did visit with him. That's all well and good. But to me, the Cardinals are still the heavy favorite for Albert Pujols unless something else comes up.
And Mark, John pointed this out yesterday that Jeff Loria played about $220 million for the entire team. If he gets near $200 for one player, that would be remarkable. And then they've also got those other offers out there for Jose Reyes and potentially some other players. So they look like either they're A, willing to spend money or trying to get a little publicity. What do you think?
I think it's a combination of both. I think they are willing to spend money, maybe not $225 million on one player money. Like John, I've heard the 9 years is accurate, but probably more along that $180 million. So, significantly less than the Cardinal offer. And if the money's less, he's going to stay in St. Louis, obviously. So I think the Marlins are in it for guys like Reyes. I think they're taking the tact of having guys like Pujols and Reyes and Burley down very early, show them the new ballpark, let everybody know they've been there. And make everybody know that they are going to be players in this market. I'm just not sure they're going to be players for the top guy in the market.
Yeah, see, that seems key, Will. The Marlins really need to make some kind of statement in their new ballpark this season.
I think they do, and I think they will in some way. A lot of it's talk right now, but with the new ballpark, and a guy like Jose Reyes would fit perfect. I'm sure they would love for that to happen. And I think Jose would like to be there, too, if he's not with the Mets, because I think that, a lot of the Latin players like the Miami area. I mean, it's close to home. So I think that's something that is real, very real.
But if Reyes comes in and plays shortstop, you got to do something with Hanley Ramirez. You got to go to him and say, where do you, third base, center field, something like that. Gets a little touchy for management and for a manager, right?
Yeah, it does. But if Hanley wants to win, I mean, you bring in a guy like Jose Reyes. If Hanley really wants to win, then third base shouldn't be a big issue for him.
John, how do you think things ultimately will shake out for the Marlins? Are they going to get at least one key free agent that maybe they need to open that ballpark?
Well, they better. That would be pretty embarrassing at this point if they came up with nobody and they just made offers for many, many people. And they've also offered a deal for Ryan Madson, the closer, as well. So they have at least 4 offers out there, maybe even more. But my understanding is they're just preliminary. I think eventually they're going to zero in on 1 or 2 that they absolutely want. My understanding is that Reyes is at the top of the list. I think they really want Burley, but he's going to have a lot of choices in this market. They could use a closer as well, so one of the closers could be, but they'll end up with probably 1 or 2 key players to help them along. And, they have a nice nucleus already, so, I'm not saying they're up there with Philadelphia, but they're a potential wild card contender if they get these 2 key players.
And it would be a little bit, Mark, of a trump card for the Mets if they could come back, if Jose Reyes came back to them and said, let's say $100 million, that's my best offer, I'm coming back to you, that could sort of shake things up in the East if the Marlins wanted him and the Mets ended up with him.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be a big loss for the Mets if Reyes goes anywhere, but if he stays in the National League East, that's a huge blow to them. So I think if the money's close, he'd probably return to New York, but the general sense everybody seems to be getting is that the money's not going to be close at the end of the day. Reyes may love New York, but probably not to the tune of giving up $20 or $30 million.
And we're watching some video of him right now, and Willie, you said it the other night, it's the high-impact way that he plays, the aggressiveness. It's the one thing that's really that roll of the dice for any GM that's willing to sign him.
Yeah, and you really can't take that away from him. That's how he plays. That's what's beautiful about Jose Reyes. But I just feel like in working with him over the years that you have to say, listen, you're going to sit down, stay and relax, make sure that all the massage therapists take care of his legs and keep him fresh. And he'll give you an unbelievable year. But that's the way he goes, 24/7. He just bats, just like a bat out of hell.
So that's one of the key guys on your roster, the massage therapist, right?
Oh, yeah, you got to have a good therapist, and there's a long line usually trying to get there, too.
No doubt.